Hi there, women in leadership. I'm quite often spoken to about why it is that it's so hard for us to create change for ourselves, even when we know it's going to be beneficial in the long run, why it is that we hold on to those old patterns. And it's really quite simple. We are stuck in an environment that doesn't facilitate us wanting to change, firstly. Also, we're stuck in those old patterns and habits that sometimes we don't even know exist. So, what happens for us is we begin to put in place actions such as, let's say, your goal is to lose the last 10 kilos. We start to put in actions in place, such as signing up for a gym or signing up with a PT, and starting to pay attention to your diet, maybe your calorie counting, maybe your macro counting, maybe you're just watching more consciously about your alcohol consumption and your sugar consumption. But we start to put these steps in place, and then we don't actually realize that our environment is not supporting the change that we're wanting to create. So it's this really tough situation where you're sitting in no man's land, where you can see the goal ahead of you very clearly because you may have thought about it, you may have posted a picture up on your bathroom mirror of how you want to look. You may have spoken to people about your goal, you may have written it down, and you may have gone ahead and invested in some form of training. So, however, you're in an environment where all you see around you is unhealthy food options. You're in an environment where your lifestyle is not supporting you to take the time every Sunday afternoon or twice a week to prepare healthy meals. You're not facilitated in going and getting the time to find the right ingredients to put together nutritious meals that also taste good. And so that environment that you're constantly stuck in of continually working, continually taking care of other people's needs, continually answering emails or investing your time in things that don't serve your health and vitality goals in other ways. And so it cuts you short, if you like. So you're stuck in this no man's land, again, where you can see the goal ahead and you've put some steps in place to head towards it, but all of the environmental signs around you are continually pulling you backwards. So you're stuck in this void of how do I get there? Then once you can work through all of that and you can actually get to the other side, you're challenged by, again, environment, but also those limiting patterns that feed information to our conscious brain that tell us that, oh, well, it's only a matter of time before I put the weight on those last 10 kilos, or it's only a matter of time before, I start to overindulge because Christmas is coming up, or it's only a matter of time before, I start to feel like I deserve it again because the weight of life, all of those stresses that caused you to get to a point that you didn't feel happy and content within yourself to begin with, start to come back because they're not being readdressed. So one of the interesting things that I do when I deal with people wanting to achieve something radically different for themselves, and even sometimes wanting to achieve things that are not so radically different, is we look at what those environmental stresses are, and we address those. And then we also look at the unconscious patternings that are deep within you so that you can be prepared for what's ahead. And a lot of that is things like pulling apart your beliefs and your limiting patterns. In this particular case of wanting to lose the last 10 kilos, it might be, what do I believe about myself that I have believed for a long, long time about what's possible for me in terms of health, vitality, and achieving a certain goal weight and being able to maintain that. In some cases, it may be that you were fed conditioning as a child about what's right and what's not. It might have been that someone in your family really loved, Gina Lollobrigida, for instance, who, is known as being gorgeous and voluptuous, and you're trying to fight against that and become someone that she was not modeling, and that causes a drama for you between your conscious and unconscious mind because you simply weren't fed those beliefs as a child that it's okay for you to be anything other than Gina Lollobrigida. So that's just one example, but what really we do is we look at the strategies that you need to set you up to achieve your goal so that you can break through the mental, physical, and emotional exhaustion. It might not be losing the last 10 kilos. It may be, how do I really unravel the complexities of my life that are causing me to stay miserable? I get up every day. I feel hit by a bus, but yet the first thing that I do is I reach over to my bedside table and I grab my smartphone and I start flicking through the work emails, because I know that if I don't get a head start on it before I put my feet on the floor, then I'm probably going to be behind the 8 ball all day. And that conditioning keeps you from the goals that you actually want to achieve that are healthy for you. And it may be that you want to get out of that misery. It may be that you want to find the spark in the work that you do again, that you want to walk into the office every day and be completely lit up, that you want to be inspired by the people around you rather than dragged down and drained, that you want to feel like you're in a place where people value you for who you are and what you can contribute, rather than being somebody that is a transactional resource for them in their business. So I really want you to move throughout this next few days thinking about, what might be the environmental factors that are contributing to me being stuck in this state of getting out of bed every day feeling like a truck has hit me, or feeling as though you have total misery attached to what you are doing day to day in your life. And I would love to start a conversation with you. By all means, reach out, comment here, contact me on LinkedIn, send me a private message. I would love to have a chat with you about how we can look at some strategies that will really assist you. I'm Chris Bocconi. I will be back here tomorrow, and I look forward to hearing your comments.